If you go to Forbes page and take a look at the top richest people in the world, you will be shocked by the size of their wealth. But none of their wealth could possibly come close to John Rockefeller's one. His wealth was so significant that he was wealthier than Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk combined. John Rockefeller was the richest American to ever live, with an estimated wealth of $400 billion. So today we'll take a look at how exactly he made that fortune, but first let's take a look at how he got into business in the first place. He grew up in a large and controversial family, with a conman father and an extremely religious mother. He was so desperate to take care of his mom that he got a job as a bookkeeper at the age of 16. This job played an essential role in his life. In fact, it was so vital that he later ascribed all of his success to his first job, because there he learned how business works, from negotiating to collecting debts. And his goal was to make $100,000 and live 100 years. By the age of 19, he already mastered the game and decided to start his own business and began selling everything he possibly could, from meat to grain, and got a commission on every deal. Although that he was doing good, his business only soared with the outbreak of the Civil War because the demand for food only increased. But his ambitions were more significant than that. With the discovery of oil in 1859, he realized the potential opportunity. Of course, oil wasn't such a big deal then as it's today, since cars and planes weren't yet invented, but it still could be used to produce kerosene, which was widely used to warm up homes and light up lamps. While most people risked their lives to find where oil could be extracted, John had a deeper understanding of the business. He realized that oil by itself wasn't useful. It could only be used after it's refined. So he built his first refinery in 1963. Since the industry was still at its initial phase, most refiners could only turn 60% of the oil to kerosene while dumping the rest into rivers. It was clearly a waste of resources for John, so he operated at a higher efficiency. In fact, he was so eager to be ahead of the competition that he did everything possible to lower the cost at every stage of the production. And in less than 2 years, the business was worth over $1 million, adjusted to inflation. By 1970, they were too big for a partnership, so he incorporated it into Standard Oil of Ohio. With its massive size and tremendous resources, the company started growing at an incredible speed. He would buy the least efficient competing refiners, threw money into it to improve their efficiency, use his power and network to get the highest possible discounts on oil shipments, and get rid of its competitors. Those who refused to sell, John would threaten them to start a price war until they would run out of cash and go bankrupt, and then he would buy their assets cheaply at an auction. That's how he took control of the entire industry. Rockefeller realized that pipelines can easily replace the railroads to transport oil, so he began to build them and acquire them. The railroads saw that as a threat that Standard Oil will take over the transportation industry as well. At this point, Rockefeller was so big that there were so many journalists, politicians, and other business people who attacked him to bring him down. Even the Congress saw him as a threat, although that he broke down the company into 41 entities under the banner of Standard Oil Trust. It didn't save him, and by 1911, the US Supreme Justice Department found Standard Oil guilty in violation of Antitrust Act and broke it down into 34 different companies, while John still kept his share. It might seem like it was a disaster for him, but it turned out to be immensely profitable. Each of these companies individually were worth more, which further increased Rockefeller's net worth to $400 billion. Over time, these companies either worked together or simply merged, such as Chevron or ExxonMobil, who are still leading the industry today. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell besides it. By the way, recently we have created a Patreon page in case if you want to support us to make more videos. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.